My name is Vladimir Arana. I'm working for the International Secretariat for Water, and we are working in Peru already 8 years, working with different communities because and this project is located on headwater territory on the upper part of the basin. And we wanted to work there because we wanted to combine the elements of the WASH projects, water supply and sanitation and hygiene projects, with water basin, and it would be like the best place to do it on headwater territory. But once you are working there, you find many challenges, and you find many challenges which are like poverty, gender inequality, climate change, so and also weak governance, and we need to, and these challenges need to be incorporated in the project somehow, and they have to be part of this because if we want to somehow push forward some positive sustainable changes, it cannot be just in one specific sector because the other sectors are going to be affected too, and vice versa. So we were trying to incorporate other approaches in the projects, and that's what it make us work on this area. And 8 years already working there, and so far we're working with 3 communities. There were many aspects that help us to succeed with this project, and one of these aspects was the fact that we were working with several partners there. That's one thing, and the other thing is that we were working parallel processes. So while making the project and working on infrastructure and training communities in how to manage water supply and sanitation, we also train them in water management and land planning, so they could combine land planning and water management with the administration of water supply and sanitation services, because they are connected, and we wanted also to validate these experiences to allow us to develop a guide that could also serve for other communities that are living or they are close to sensitive water resources, and they may need to combine these water protection criteria with land management and water supply and sanitation. But to do this, we needed partners. We needed partners that could understand how to train communities and in rural areas, and how to work with these committees. But even though these proposals proposals at the time and then they were implemented later may sound interesting for us, perhaps they may not be the same. It might not be the same case for the communities themselves. So we needed to see if they were really agreeing on this because they felt it was what they wanted, and not just because we were the people from the project wanted to do something. And that's why we were carrying on in parallel consultation process. It was very important for us to have a legitimacy not only from the communities, but also from local authorities, the academia, universities, and other people to agree that this process would be positive for them. So it somehow forced us to establish partnerships with other organizations, with other NGOs in the area, with other communities, with other community leaders, with local authorities, with mayors in that area and the other area, in the main city, in universities, and the water authority in the region. And it allowed us to carry on a partnership where the community was the center of this process, and at the same time, they were making things based in their understanding and not because we were imposing things. So this seeking process of legitimacy made us also develop partnerships that allow us to push forward this project and improve not only water supply and sanitation or water management, but also other aspects like helping them to understand how they could, with water resources and the availability of water, they could develop more economic projects, and they could lead other projects themselves, which allow us also to highlight the role of women in project development and in the administration of water resources and the water infrastructure. One of the ways where communities get confidence and trust is when others like them can tell them how things work and how things can be better. So one of the things that we did is that incorporate in our team not only men and women that were speaking the Quechua language, I mean the language of peoples we were working with. So they could tell them in their language, people like them, that what things were positive for the project, and what things would be positive for them, and what things would be help them to build a better community. And among those issues was gender equality. So it allowed all these inputs influenced in the community, in one of the communities, the first community we were working with. So in an assembly they had, a community assembly, they increased the number of women in the water supply and sanitation committee. And actually when we finished the first project in that community of water supply, they chose a woman as a president of this water supply and sanitation committee. So the way wasn't imposing them, telling them, if you don't choose a woman, we're not going to make the project. No, that wasn't the way. The way was helping them to understand the advantages of sharing those responsibilities, and to have a community that could have more opportunities for everybody. So this was the approach, and when these partners that were working with us were talking with them in their language and basing in their experience, they really, and also with the presence of other partners, like showing consensus on what we were talking about. This strongly influenced the community, and not only women, but the community as a whole. Well, there are, yes, transformations, positive and negative. I have to say both. I want to start with the negative things. After the first community we were working with, we passed into a second community. Now we're on the third community. In the second community, we found a lot of resistance. People didn't want to change. We were like implementing the same process of legitimacy, but people didn't want to incorporate women in their committee, and that was strange. But it kind of like balanced right afterwards, because the municipality where they were located in chose a woman as the mayor. So it was perhaps part of what our project was pushing forward, but or perhaps also because of the qualities of this woman to become the mayor of the area and of the municipality. And do you think her helping to strengthen the role of women in the area? So now we are working very closely with this mayor woman of this municipality, and it's helping us to, well actually she's a leader herself. She doesn't need really like a presentation card. She's a leader, but giving her all the support in every aspect also helps strengthen the role of women there, because also she is seen as a symbol. No, she's a woman, she's a leader, she's a mother, and she's working in the projects and to make more projects in the area. So I would say, but other negative things, I would say, not exactly related to the project, but also to the context in general, is migration. People from rural areas are migrating to cities, and that's happening in all the developing world. So what we've seen in the communities that we're working is that in the past 10 years, around 10% of the families are leaving the areas, and that make us think of what is going to happen with infrastructure, with their development, if this trend continues, and what is going to happen with the governance also, because those that migrate, in many cases, are like the best families of the community. Those who want to look for other future, let us say, abroad the rural areas and go to urban areas. So it's a whole thing that has to be rethought, let us say, and we should like incorporate all these aspects in in one basket, see how we approach things differently too.